Welcome back, mercenaries, and have I got well, I don't know if I have a battle for you, but hopefully I will have a battle for you. First thing you should probably notice is that Mech 10 is out of commission for 55 days. He had a near-death experience, meaning he actually died, but we do have a mechanic that gives you a chance to not die. That would be this right here. Chance of death from incapacitating damage is 5% less likely. Chance of death from lethal damage is 5% less likely. So he got lucky because his BattleMech was destroyed in the process of getting the King Crab. Yeah, he was piloting the Awesome, and you can see here, the Awesome lost the center torso, the right torso, and the right arm were all destroyed. And, I mean, not reflected here, but you can see that the Awesome's arm is gone. But we're probably not going to repair the Awesome, we're probably just going to scrap it. And that's because I have a second Awesome. It's a different variation of it, but nevertheless, still an Awesome. And the King Crab, we are now going to put everybody in descending order. This is the BattleMech that I really wanted because the King Crab is my favorite assault mech. Let's go ahead and orderize everybody. And let's take a look at this mech. The first thing we are going to do is repaint it to something that isn't as busy looking. I like to have much cleaner looking lines. Oh, that's interesting. Pretty much unpainted color. No. No. 2 doesn't look too bad. Let me get a different angle. So this is a camo. Yeah, so let's go with 2. So, the King Crab gets its name because, well, kind of looks like a crab. You could tell, like, its back has kind of like a wide crab-like top. And I believe it is the older brother of the... I never thought of making screenshots with these different angles. Like, some of these angles are pretty damn cool looking. But it is the smaller, it is the big brother to, I believe, the regular everyday crab, which was added in one of the expansions, so you'll get to see it when I do a career mode. Obviously, the arms here, he has these little pincer arms. The reason these are pincer arms is because these are basically armored sheaths that protect its main guns. Because the next thing we're going to do is customize it, and our customization is going to be similar to the stock version of the crab, which is what we're going to do. We're going to build the standard crab, then we'll modify it. And this mech is known for being a mech that carries 2 autocannon 20s into battle. It is it doesn't play around when it comes to firepower, not in the slightest. So nothing in the head. We got 1 heat sink in the center torso. Why not? We got, in the right torso, the large laser and some AC-20 ammo. Sure, why not? Here we got the large laser and some AC-20 ammo. We've got... The left torso has an LRM-15 and ammo for both. Get ourselves an LRM-15. Oh, that's the wrong category. We need to be in missiles. LRM-50. We're not going to use any upgraded stuff, just to kind of get the basic idea of what it looks like. But yes, the King Crab just does so much damage that we were not able to... We just couldn't handle the damage it was dealing. Like, it's a very, like... It's a mech that... It hurts really bad. It's a very powerful battle mech. I would say it is... the king of the real king of the battlefield, even though typically that is given to the Atlas. Typically the Atlas is said to be the king of the battlefield. But I think even the Atlas knows its place when it has to fight a King Crab. Like, the Atlas knows, oh, it needs to be a little like punk and fight at long range, because the Atlas knows it can't beat the King Crab in close combat. And in fact, I don't know if any mech can beat the King Crab in close combat. It's really tough to beat. The King Crab is a really rough opponent. in close combat. So this is what it would typically look like. Now, I don't know, let's see what we've got. Our Alpha Strike is 300. We've got the slowest movement possible, which is 165, which is a 1. Durability, 1300 armor and 60, so the most heavily armored mech we've had so far. Melee attack, almost the best. It's got 125 damage on the melee attack. And the heat efficiency isn't great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. But let's go ahead. I just don't agree with this design for the King Crab, so I'm actually just going to pull everything out. And we're going to start over. Now, what I agree with are the autocannons. We're going to put on this really beautiful Kaliyama autocannon right over here. 10 extra damage and 10 stability. And then over here, I'm probably going to put this +4 accuracy. The next thing I'm going to do is this thing we need ammo. Like, we can't have one. We can't have 1 ton of ammo each. I need at least 2 tons of ammo each. That's going to give us, basically, this can shoot 10 times. This one can shoot 10 times, 20 ammo altogether. That's okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to harden the armor and the arms to the max. And I want the, pretty much want the, I want the armor, all of the forward segments of the armor to be maxed out. This mech needs to have a humongous amount of armor to protect it. And, let's bring a little bit, I'll take a little bit off on the legs. Just a little bit, though. I need to take 1 armor off somewhere. 1, or 5 armor, actually. I'll take 1 off the back. There we go. So now we have 1,600 armor. That's fine. That's exactly what we're looking for. We have 13 tons remaining. And I do want a long-range weapon. I'm not sure what it's going to be. Let's go ahead and put on... I probably want the best cockpit mod that we have. I'll pull one out later on, but I'll put this on temporarily. Do we have a ballistic TTS? No, we don't. That would be something I would consider using. I will put on some heat sinks in the legs, like so. And what am I going to put in? I need to put something on this mech as a long-range weapon. I might put on a PPC or maybe the large pulse laser. Put it here, just as something that I can plink away at people at long range in the event that that occurs. And then 1 more heat sink. Where are my heat sinks? Put 1 over here. There we go. So I'm okay with this. I could further redesign it. Like, there are other things, you know, we could go on with more close-range weapons to do even more damage up close. But I think, because, like, we're not going to fire all the weapons at once all the time, so the heat is actually not that big of a deal. Like, see, if we pull this off, the heat's really good. So it's only a problem if we actually shoot the large pulse laser, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to go ahead and confirm that.
On it.
And we're going to change to another area. I'm tired of fighting on these Martian battlefields over here. So I want to go to just someplace normal, like a Terran battlefield. That's fine. No, I want a harder battlefield. Mector sounds fine. Let's fly over to Mector.
By your command.
And then what I'll do is when the King Crab's done being built, I will steal a cockpit mod from one of the best cockpit mod we have. It needs to be, because the King Crab is going to get shot at all the time. And that's because the King Crab's job is to lead the attack. Distress call. Samurai catches your attention on the bridge. Commander, I've picked up a distress call from a nearby civilian transport. It's not exactly our job to assist in matters like this, but we may be the nearest ship available. He studies the display. On the other hand, it looks like the ship's engines are in a critical state. They could explode before we get there. Let's mount an immediate rescue expedition. When the Argo arrives at the source of the distress beacon, it's clear you made the right decision. A handful of void-suited passengers spin aimlessly away from a gaping hole in the hull, hoping against hope for rescue. Your tech staff managed to scoop up the survivors just before the transport explodes. Gain 1 reputation with the Arano restoration and +1 morale. Well, I guess, you know, being good Samaritans, you know, no big deal. Mac 10 is, he's gonna be out for a little while. He's gonna need, he might need some plastic surgery. In fact, you know, he's probably not looking too good after getting shot by the King Crab. But, he'll be fine. He may not be fine in time for the final mission, though, but he still helped with the important job of getting the King Crab. So who has the best cockpit mod? Really? I thought we had a +3 somewhere. I guess we don't. Well, that's fine. Let's just head on to Mector, then. I guess a +2 was the best that we had. Which, like I said, the King Crab is going to get shot at a lot. The King Crab is... its job is basically 2 things. The King Crab poses kind of an interesting tactical decision. Do you kill the King Crab first, where it will just kind of zombie its way to you, and allow its other lance mates to fire at you without, you know, without being shot back at? Or do you try to take out the King Crab's support and then risk the fight with the King Crab in close combat? Neither of those are particularly attractive, which is why it's kind of the conundrum with the King Crab. So let's find a battle. Like, we want a really high-level battle. And a recovery mission, that's also fine. A 5-skull recovery mission. Yeah, a recovery mission is pretty much the same thing as a battle. So let's go ahead, yeah, let's keep it 3 in case we find an Atlas or something. That would be another good BattleMech to salvage. And we are going to send in, let's get everybody out of here. The King Crab is going in. Obviously the King Crab is going in. That's our big BattleMech. I'm going to send in the Highlander, because these are the 2, like, super heavily armored mechs. And then for range support, we're going to bring in our 2 missile mechs. I think that is a perfectly good combo. Let's go ahead and bring in... Lore. You know what? I said Mad Cat could jump in some battles, so I'm going to bring in Mad Cat, Lore, and the Big Mac. And that's going to be our battle. We're in the Highlands, so lots of terrain for cover, which is great. Now we've got the super heavily armored King Crab, the KCG-0000. Very even its like serial number or serial, whatever you want to designate it as, has it's very distinctive with the 4 zeros. But at any rate, it's time to take the King out for a spin. This is my favorite battle mech, so hopefully it has hopefully the dice rolls are in my favor and I can really show what the King Crab is about. Gotta have my Mountain Dew first, though. So, even though we need to retrieve the memory core and escape, we're just gonna destroy all the enemies. That's basically the plan. Kill all the enemies, and then we'll retrieve the memory core. And then we won't even need to escape, because once we retrieve the memory core after the enemies are dead, the mission will just end. Okay, so let's get started. So as you can see, there's woods everywhere, so we have the freedom of basically going anywhere we want.
Roger that.
Like, it doesn't
Roger
even
that,
matter.
Commander. On my way.
And that we're going to take our advantage to that, the fact that basically the entire battlefield, we could just walk around in the open. It's a nice change of pace from like those desert missions where I feel really trapped to the really nice bits of terrain where the cover is. I'm going to go over here, swing wide a bit. That way I have the option to kind of cross through the middle if necessary. Or if it's safe, rather. Let's go right here and here, try to like hide behind this mountain. Okay, we've got a 100-ton mech and a 60-ton mech. Interesting. I guess I get to see what my opponent is, so let's go ahead and look. Ah, it's another King Crab. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is... I'm going to tank up and begin using my breaching shot against it, which allows me to completely bypass his 60% defense for the 110 damage. Meanwhile, I have the 60% damage reduction, and they've got 1,600 armor to go through.
Ready for orders.
Now, what's awesome about the King Crab is if there are 2 BattleMechs in cover like that, I can split shot 1 autocannon each and hit 2 targets with a breaching shot with the AC-20. So it's like it doesn't even matter. It's so much damage. Fire the Gauze rifle. Looks like we hit him in the leg again. That actually opens up an opportunity for a targeted shot on its leg. So he's going to use the breaching shot as well, but with a much weaker attack. So yeah, its right leg is a bit banged up, which does present an opportunity to potentially...
Moving to position.
I'm just going to sprinkle it. Actually, I'm not going to shoot at it at all. Like, our missiles are barely going to do anything to it.
Yup.
Okay, the crab's coming out. Yeah, I got 1 headshot on me. Unfortunately, we ignored it.
Ready to rock.
Now that the crab is...
I'm ready.
there, what we can do is... I might try to take a targeted shot on it. Like this. What are my problems? I have a 66% chance of hitting its leg. I think I'm going to take that chance. It's not the best chance, but even if I miss, I'm still going to be hitting him with a decent breaching shot. And we got his leg.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
So down he goes. He's going to lose his defense bonus there, and now that he's down, my 2 missile mechs are going to be able to do a lot of damage.
Warning. Enemy sensor lock detected.
So let's go ahead and get into position
Acknowledge, Commander.
and begin pounding his center torso. I want to point out as well that when we shot his leg off, his leg had 85 structure remaining. So only an extremely powerful weapon like the AC-20 would have had a chance to pull something off like that. Another attack, center torso. We've got a Battle Master. My defenses aren't quite at max. Another headshot, which is annoying. Getting a lot of head hits.
Roger.
Don't know if we could finish him off here, but we can try.
Affirmative.
Not quite. He is gonna get back up.
Something good.
Damage minimal.
Let's see how the cockpit on the... Okay, the Mech's cockpit is fine.
Confirmed.
There is very little left, so this should finish it off. There we go. Even though this isn't my version of the King Crab, you could see it took quite a bit to bring it down either way. Now this guy, I'm going to attempt to just vaporize him, because he's just really nosy. He just needs to go away.
Armor low.
Yes, Commander.
How's my armor looking? Still holding. And we are going to... I'm going to reserve. Oh Okay, so I need to start showing my right armor. Which is fine. I'm gonna go about right here. And I'm gonna activate Vigilance. And I'm going to begin doing exactly what I said I would. And what I'm gonna do is just start putting one shot on each guy. Like this.
Engaging.
Oh no, I missed. Jeez. What? That was a really bad miss too, considering that this guy wasn't even evasive. So I must have just caught that 5% miss, which is terrible. So now they're hitting the right side of the King Crab, which is fine, and the left side could still take more as well.
Yes, Commander.
So it's not even that big of a deal. What did we hit on the quick draw? It looks like I hit his arm.
Receiving you.
So I want to put some more shots on him, just because seems like it's a good target.
Firing all weapons.
Get some extra hits on. Yeah, we got his arm. Once again, heavy autocannon making
Critical
opportunities
hit,
to cause big damage.
Orders?
Just because it's kind of like, surprise! Have 100 damage! Let's come across over here. Actually, I'm just gonna make a shot from here, that's fine. The knockdown. Okay, so what am I gonna do here? I think I'm gonna just reserve. Actually, no, I'm gonna use
Commander?
one of these guys to finish off this quick draw. Probably don't need to fire all of my missiles. Yep, there we go.
Mech destroyed.
Now I'm gonna reserve. Oops.
Roger that.
Another head hit. So I believe we've used up all of our head injury ignores, which is annoying because now we're actually going to start taking head injuries. And I'm gonna go into over here like this. I'm gonna tank up, and I'm going to begin working on the Battlemaster. There we go. How does that feel? That 110 damage. Hitting the right side, which is fine.
Damage minimal.
Armor is still in the kind of mid area. Center torso is still pretty good.
Good to go.
So the AC-10 almost went through the Battlemaster's armor on its left arm in one shot, because its left arm has 120 armor.
Waiting
So that
for
means
orders.
the autocannon has opened up the opportunity for more damaging attacks.
I copy.
That's exactly what we're gonna do. Try to get some
Roger
shots on his arm.
What are your orders, Skipper?
Give him a little bit more. We're through the armor there. This should knock him down, though. Now he's in trouble, because he's knocked down with the King Crab right in front of him. And unlike the missile-based mechs, the King Crab can just basically just kill you very quickly. If you are downed in front of the King Crab, you're in very serious trouble, because now I can put a little over 200 damage center torso just by going right over here. And I'm just going to tank up, and now I'm going to alpha strike him. I haven't used my pulse laser until now. I'm just going to put everything center torso.
All weapons committed.
And let's see how much damage we did there. We went through all of his armor and the beginning of it, so it looks like one of my shots missed, which is unfortunate because it is about 90% accurate. But now that means one of these guys might finish him off. Yep, finished him off.
Target down, Commander.
So I've been pretty unlucky. I was hoping to have a bit lucky, not even luckier. Just I've been hoping to hit my 90% hits.
What's up, boss? Got it.
So here's the Cyclops. It doesn't have that much
Locked on
defense.
target.
We'll go and just shoot at him. We should have a second wave of reinforcements, though. I would be surprised if it's such small number of mechs that are guarding the area.
Full throttle.
Looks like everybody needs a chance to kind of cool down, so I'm
Copy
just
that,
going to start
Commander.
moving forward.
Waiting for orders.
The Cyclops is another DLC mech. I will be using it in the... Oh, good. He's targeting the Stalker that's out of cover. Pretty smart.
Reporting. Serious armor loss. Receiving you. Here it comes.
So when you're using the King Crab, you always want to see, like, how thick is the armor on your target's center torso?
Orders.
And the answer is fairly thick, but the King Crab is going to be able to strip through that armor pretty efficiently and allow a fast kill time on a lot of BattleMechs, which is exactly what I'm going to be going for here. Actually, it looks like he turned his torso away from me, so I might not have that option. No, he didn't. So I'm just going to call a shot. Center torso. We have 82% chance to hit on each weapon on the center torso, and we're just going to alpha strike to see if how much can we cut through instead of having to go through the entire BattleMech.
All weapons committed.
So now we're going to check its armor to see how much we went through. And as you can see, we hit all of our shots hit center torso. So he was about over here, or he had nearly full armor center torso, and now he's in risk of being cored out this quickly into the battle. And that's, like I said, that is just something, that's just a King Crab thing. Like, the King Crab, look at that, we're already almost, we are just about able to core this mech. In fact, we might be able to if I take another targeted shot. Let's see if we can get him. Yep. That was a fast assault mech kill, just because of the ability just to focus all the damage on the center torso and core the mech out. And while our missile mechs are certainly pretty good, they're decent at that, they're just not going to be... It's hard to beat the King Crab for coring a battle mech. That's just something that's King Crab things.
On it.
The Atlas II can also do that because it has the...
I'm walking here.
I believe it can also mount 2 autocannons, but the Atlas II is pretty uncommon. In fact, I think the only way to get it is through the black market. And now we'll just reserve.
Taking a protected stand.
Good work.
So that's interesting. I was expecting to fight more BattleMechs than that. But what can you do? I thought there would be 2 waves of 4. Especially for a maximum difficulty mission. And you could see the King Crab weathered the damage pretty effectively. They were just now starting to get through my armor. And the cockpit mod got full value out of that. Like, we were able to not get any injuries on it, despite getting multiple shots on the armor, on the head armor of the King Crab. So everything went just fine. Let's check our salvage. We have this. Oh, I want that. I was hoping to get a good quality. We have a gyro, 3 hit defense. Oh my god, that's a really good one. We're gonna put that on the King Crab immediately. That'll give it a bit more evasion, 15% evasion, which is really important because the Crab is always leading the attack. And it needs, 50%. Who knows? You could shake a few extra missiles. Maybe you shake some autocannons. 15%, that could be the deciding factor on some of those. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a gyro onto the King Crab. Where is it? 3 hit defense. Really, really good stuff. Confirm. And I want to see how much time. I don't know how long I've been recording. I might do a second battle because I wasn't too satisfied with that battle, to be completely honest. Let me see. How long have we been recording? We've been recording for 30 minutes. Yeah, we have time for another battle. So I'm going to end this episode here, and I'm going to make it a two-parter. We're going to have King Crab Part 1, which I think that episode mainly displayed its defensive capabilities, of its ability to protect its allies by being the cleanest target to be shot at. And the thing is, you could say, can't you just ignore the King Crab? You can, but that means you need to get closer to the lance in order to get your weapons online. Like, you know, if you wanted to attack the Highlander or the two Stalkers, you would need to get a little deeper into the lance. And if you get too deep, well, I'm going to swing behind you, and then I'm going to call a targeted shot on your rear armor with 2 autocannon 20s. And then it's just going to kill you instantly. Like, you're just, like, even if you're a really big mech, only another King Crab, like, I don't even know, that might not even be true. Could the King Crab take its own medicine? No. 55 structure and 55 there, I don't, if you were using standard autocannons, yes, it would just barely survive. But if you're using even slightly upgraded with a little more damage, no, if 2 heavy autocannons hit your rear armor, even on the King Crab, that would be the end of the BattleMech. It would just go straight through it and just destroy its engine. So, it is a problem. Like, you can't... One does not simply ignore the King Crab, I'll put it that way. You can if you have extremely good long-range weapons and the terrain is beneficial, but in that particular instance, it just wouldn't have been a good idea. And at the same time, you still have to go through 1,600 armor, plus the cover and any extra bonuses. And while they did have someone with breaching shot, that's just not going to cut it, to put it frank. That's just not good enough. Like a breaching shot from one BattleMech, you need something better than that. At any rate, that's going to be the end of this episode. We'll do the King Crab Part 2 as well. At any rate, I'll see you next time. Like this video if it was entertaining. Subscribe for future, I was about to say state the case, future Battletech content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.